Previously on TSR Live.
Here's a Donovan Sharp axiom. If you endorse it, enforce it. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the one thing that black women say that I agree with. Don't talk about it, be about it. Agree with you 100%, baby girl. If you have trained your woman properly, and all of the necessary elements are in place, and you can refer to episodes 53 and 54 as well as volume 9 of Donovan's Den, released just past Sunday, then laying down the law in this regard will be relatively easy. I'll use my own woman as an example. When she goes to work, she looks professional. She never, ever, ever shows any cleavage. She never wears high heels, and all of the dresses she wears to work are down to her ankles. She does this because I told her to. She understands the reasons I require her to wear certain things, and she's well aware of the reasons why I don't let her wear certain things. Even if she didn't understand it, guess what? Because I said so, that's why. You can see maybe 5% of her body, her face and her hands. That's it, and maybe her ankles, depending on the shoes she's wearing. Now, when she's at home and it's time to drain my balls, only 5% of her body is then covered up.
And now your man, Donovan Sharp.
How's your boyfriend lucky to have you? You're fucking your boss. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated?
You cannot out-train a bad diet.
Never believe everything a woman tells you. She will always leave something out. You're always broke because you spend your money on dumb shit every month. If you've only slept with 5 guys, then why was it so easy to fuck you?
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of TSR Live, presented by Happy Hippo Herbals, home of the highest quality kratom on the planet. It is Monday, December 11th, 2017. Bittersweet night last night. My Eagles beat the LA Rams in a wild shootout, which won the NFC East and gave us the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs for the time being. But we lost our quarterback, and we are done. Carson Wentz tore his ACL, and he's done for the year. And listen, we might make a run in the playoffs, but listen, Nick Foles isn't Carson Wentz. But that's how these things go, guys. I love sports. I love the Eagles. I love when they do well, and I'm bummed when they don't, but it's just sports. I was bummed about it for maybe 10 minutes, moved on with my day. That's just how it goes. Life goes on. Last Wednesday, I gave you guys 5 things that you can do to make your girl the best woman she can be. And that's in episode 167. So be sure to go and check that out. Well, today I'm going to give you guys the last 3. I had it up to 10, pared it down to 9, decided that 2 of the 3 were the same. So I went ahead and pared it down to the last 3. So let's not waste any time. Here we go. Number 6, never be afraid to let her know where she stands. Leaving a woman in the dark is a way of saying, or never, this is another way of saying, don't be passive aggressive. Don't be the guy who has a problem with his woman, keeps it all inside, mentions things related to said problem in passing, instead of outright telling her about it. And then when you can't take it anymore, you explode and go on a 30-minute tirade. When you say shit that you don't mean and say shit that you end up regretting. All right. And guess what your girl is going to say, guys? Well, you didn't tell me. And she's right. You can't expect your woman to correct bad behavior if you don't let her know that she has fucked up. She can't course correct if she doesn't know there's a problem. Women aren't mind readers, guys. If she doesn't know you've got one foot out the door because she is or isn't doing X, Y, or Z, you can't expect her to make the changes necessary to keep you. If you don't tell her, she won't know. And if she doesn't know, she's not going to change. That's simple mathematics, gentlemen. But here is the real issue. Passive aggressiveness is the calling card of a coward. Guys, listen, it's easy to tell a woman where she stands when everything is all rainbows and puppies, right? Anyone can do that. But cowards don't like to ruffle a woman's feathers. They don't like to tell a woman, hey, you need to stop doing such and such, because they're afraid of the reaction. And at the heart of the issue, what they're really afraid of is confrontation. Cowards are afraid of confrontation with men because they're afraid to get in a fight and get hit in the face. Getting hit in the face sucks, all right? But sometimes it's a necessary evil. Cowards are afraid of that. And they're afraid of confrontation with women because they're afraid they're going to lose her if they piss her off too much or if they upset her. Newsflash, guys, your cowardice causes bad behavior to get worse, and it is all downhill from there. Now, on the other side of that coin, you have got to let her know when she is doing it right. When she looks good, if she looks good, guys, let her know. And you don't always have to do it with words. Smack her in the ass, snap her bra, flirt with her. If she represents you well at a get-together, or she doesn't misbehave in a situation, or she exhibits ladylike characteristics in public, let her know, hey, you really impressed me tonight. I appreciate you making me look good. You have to let your woman know when she is doing the right thing. You have to directly or indirectly reassure her. No, guys, I'm not saying you need to tell her every hour of every day, baby, I love you so much, I'm not going anywhere, we're going to be together forever. But you don't need to give her any indication that but if you don't give her any indication that you're serious about her and that you're happy with her, she's going to think that something's up, and that could lead to self-preservation, which will manifest itself with bad behavior. Don't be afraid to have hard conversations with your woman, and make sure you let her know that you're happy with her. Don't do it too much, but she has the right to know she's doing it right. This incentivizes her to continue good behavior. Never be afraid to let a woman know where she stands, for better or worse. No pun intended. Definitely not talking about marriage. Number 7, don't compliment her too much. Make her work for your approval. Now, before you guys fly off the hinge, nobody's suggesting that you never compliment your woman. Guys, listen, women need validation. They need approval from you. They need to know, again, like I said in number 6, they need to know when they're doing it right. And if you withhold your praise when she clearly deserves it, she's only going to tolerate that for so long, guys. Girls need to know their man is pleased with them and what they do if they deserve it. And you are the judge of that, not her. She wants your approval, not her own. But if you compliment your woman too much, she'll stop trying because you are giving validation without her earning it again. You're giving her attention she doesn't deserve, and at some point, guys, I've said it before, human nature is going to kick in, and she's going to put in less and less effort for something she knows she can get for free, which is why she doesn't make an effort to look good anymore, or she laughs at you when you ask her, what's for dinner tonight? Neither of which is a good thing, meaning that she isn't being the best woman that she can be. Women value the most what they are required to work the hardest for, and at the top of that list is male attention. A woman wants to know that your time and attention and praise are worth something. And if you compliment her too much or compliment her when she doesn't deserve it, you're basically giving it to her for free, guys. And if she gets it for free, she's not going to value it. And if she doesn't value your approval, she is not going to work for it, which means she's definitely not going to be the best woman she can be. Don't be afraid to make your woman work for your approval. No, I'm not saying that you should tell your woman, you need to work for my attention and affection, because that's just silly, guys. She'll laugh at you. What I mean by making her work for it is not being impressed by everything, not being impressed by shit that she should be doing anyway. If she cooks you a meal, tell her thank you, but there's no need to act like she's the queen of the fucking universe if she heats up last night's leftovers. Withhold your praise only for when she goes above and beyond and really, truly, genuinely impresses you. That will encourage your woman to continue to raise the bar. And trust me when I tell you guys that a woman who's always looking to improve is going to be the best woman she can be. Number 8. This is a big one. Okay, of the 8 that I came up with, if you haven't paid attention to any of the first 7, you need to pay attention to this one. Brag about her. Women love when you brag on them to your family and friends, guys. This is another thing that encourages them to be the best woman they can be. Yes, they like it when they get approval from you. They like it when you validate their attractiveness. They like it when you ask for seconds of whatever she's cooked for you. They like all that stuff. But when you tell your buddies, yeah, Erica always looks hot when we go out together, or when you tell your family Melissa made me the best steak dinner last night, trust me when I tell you, guys, your woman is glowing on the inside. She may not show it, but she is giddy with delight and excitement when you brag on her. This, again, will manifest itself into more good behavior. She wants to keep getting that public recognition. She wants that dopamine rush that came with that public recognition. A woman who knows her man is proud enough to tell the people he cares about the most will be the best woman she can be. She wants you to continue to brag about how great she is, especially when she knows you're not one to compliment her too much or give her praise behind closed doors when she doesn't deserve it. She knows that when you verbalize to other people about how pleased you are with her, she's doing it right. She knows she's doing it right. Guys, listen, you guys know I brag about my woman all the time on the show. I put pictures of her up on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages so that you guys can all see how attractive she is. I put up the pictures of the meal she cooks for me, and you guys know that I put way more food pictures than I do pictures of her, because any woman can look good, guys. I can get that anywhere. I can get pussy anywhere. Okay? But a woman who looks good and cooks good definitely deserves some credit. And women know that you can tell them whatever you want to. They're just words. But when a man who tells other people about how great his woman does this or that, it is certifiably genuine in a woman's eyes. Bragging about your woman to your friends and family and people you care about the most is one of the most effective ways for a woman to be and stay the best woman that she can be, hands down. TSR Live is brought to you by Happy Hippo Herbals, home of the highest quality kratom on the planet. If you are looking for a caffeine-free energy boost with laser focus and an enhanced mood for hours, look no further than Happy Hippo Kratom. They've got over 24 strains available at rock-bottom prices, and for a limited time, save an additional 25% off when you pay with Bitcoin. This includes your shipping, guys. So go to happyhippoherbals.com today and take the first step in increasing your productivity and elevating your mood without caffeine. That is happyhippoherbals.com. Follow me on Twitter at Donovan_Sharp. Like my Facebook page, TSR Live with Donovan Sharp, and you can add me as well. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharp. When you see my pretty face in the profile section, you will know you got the right guy. The Sharp Reality, no spaces, all one word, is where you can find me on Instagram. You can also find the TSR archive on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, the Google Play app on your mobile device, and of course, right here on YouTube. For all things Donovan Sharp, go to donovansharp.com. There you will also find the TSR archive. Gentlemen, every single episode from the beginning, which will include Sharp Shorts, TSR Sports Talk, The Sharp Reality, and of course, all editions of TSR Live, including the one you are watching or listening now. You can also access the columns I've written for Return of Kings and Negro Manosphere under the Articles tab. I've got almost 160 articles published between the two sites for almost 4 years now. So if you want a solid supplement to the show, be sure to check those out. And as we complete the first part of our show, let's take a look at the towers and see who we've got in the house. I've got a $5 super chat from somebody, but I cannot see who it was from. So I guess they wanted to be listen, shout out to No Name Super Chatter. I appreciate the support, whoever you are. I appreciate the support. Everyday Dre says, first again, but I'm gonna tell you what, Everyday Dre, I can only assume that with a name like Dre, you might be on the West Coast for whatever reason. I'm thinking maybe you're on the West Coast because your name is Dre. But good to see you in here. Shout out to Freelance Ronan, says, drop this into the TSR tip jar. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to add another way that you guys can contribute, which will anytime you guys donate via Super Chat, YouTube takes 30% right off the top. Nothing wrong with that. My guess is that YouTube needed a way to encourage content creators like myself to continue to create content. They tightened the screws in terms of guys like me. Rightfully so, because they've got big named advertisers that they wanted to keep happy. And when you come on the air and you talk about the stuff that I talk about, big time advertisers like AT&T, Sprint, all of those advertisers, they're going to say, okay, we can't put our names on Donovan Sharp because we're going to get a big time public backlash, boycotts, blah, 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 blah. So I understand YouTube had to make a business decision when they tightened the screws. But then they had another problem. Well, if these guys aren't going to be able to make advertising money, that's going to discourage them from putting out more content. They can't really make any money if they're not getting those advertising dollars, those Google AdSense dollars. So what they did to combat the situation, I think, I mean, I wasn't there with Mr. YouTube. I don't know what happens, but it only makes sense that they said, hey, you know what? We'll give these guys another chance to make a little bit of extra money, and we'll enable Super Chat. We'll take our 30% off the top because, of course, we're losing advertising dollars as well. We have to recoup that somehow, and thus the genesis of Super Chat. That is my uneducated guess. Even if it's totally wrong, certainly makes a damn good theory. So it's good to see you. Oh God, Lewis Key with the $5 super chat says for Carson Wentz. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. You know, the funny thing is when he dove into the end zone, I said to my woman, I was watching the game with her, I said, ooh, he looks like he got popped pretty good on that. I didn't see his knee snap back. I was fixated on the right knee. And he got up. I didn't notice him limping, but then I started to see him limp. And I said, okay, I guess he's okay. Then they had him in the tent. And I said, okay, well, maybe he got it, maybe a thigh bruise or something. Then he goes to the back, and then they said he wasn't returning. And that's when, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yep, I knew he tore his ACL, but I knew that it was not good. I was thinking, okay, worst case scenario, torn ACL, he's out for the season. Best case scenario, maybe a sprained ACL, sprained MCL, out for a couple of weeks. Nick Foles holds down the fort. We get the first round bye, number 1 seed. Wentz comes back and we do our thing. But it was the worst case scenario. Carson Wentz is out for the season. No, I'm not depressed. Listen, the Eagles are my team. They always have been. They always will be. But I'm not going to lose any sleep because we lost our quarterback. This is sports, guys. This isn't real life. Unless you are a professional sports gambler or a memorabilia dealer, sports doesn't affect my life one way or the other, and it shouldn't yours either. Alex Garcia, good to see you in here. He appears to be crestfallen that he was not the first in the super chat. Everyday Dre says, click that like button. Click that like button, guys. Trying to get this up to 100 likes. Trying to increase the profile of the show. I will actually be back on my main channel on Christmas Day. 2 weeks from today, I'll be back on my main channel, but I am going to be streaming simultaneously to both channels. I will also be streaming to Facebook. I will also be streaming to Twitter via Periscope. So I'll be streaming to both of my YouTube channels, Twitter via Periscope, as well as Facebook. So I'm definitely starting to stretch my legs here. TSR Towers, we're going to bring Sharp Studio. We're going to try to get Sharp Studios. Going to try to make this place a household name. So be ready. A lot of good things coming down the pike. Shout out to Mr. Old School Writer. Good to see you in here. Alex Garcia seems to have recovered from finishing in second place. He says, what's up, TSR in full effect. Nigel Diggs, good to see you in here. Said, time for some learning. You're goddamn right. That's what's up. Beast Ninja 007, good to see you in here. Aunt James, what's going on? John Paul says, I'm a Buffalo fan. You know what? The Buffalo Bills, they beat, who the hell did they beat? It was a snow game. There's like 70 feet of snow. And Shady McCoy, once again, had a great game. I remember the Eagles. This was back when I think we still had Nick Foles, but we had LaShawn McCoy, and we played against the Detroit Lions. It was like 8-9 inches of snow. And for whatever reason, they didn't take the snow off of the field. They left it there the whole game. The snow kept falling and falling. Dude, Shady McCoy gashed the Lions for 215 yards that day. So it was no surprise when I saw him run the game-winning touchdown in against the Indianapolis Colts. That's who they played. So that was definitely interesting. Deep 1985, good to see you in here. Lorenzo Davis says, sir, I bend the knee to you. Your Eagles beat my Rams. Yeah, man, that was a fantastic game. But I'm going to tell you what, I would much rather have lost that game and kept our quarterback than what actually happened. I would rather have gotten blown out 60-0 and have a healthy Carson Wentz than to have won that game. Obviously, I'm not breaking news here, but that's the way I feel about it. We'll see what happens. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll win a playoff game. Who knows? But I'm not expecting, I'm not expecting anything. Freelance Ruin says, I damn sure need this episode. If I go more than a day without caffeine, I want to go on a killing spree. Yeah. Trust me, I got something for you guys. Keith Jensen, shout out to you. He says, first time hearing Professor Sharp live. I like that name. I go by Uncle Donovan. I think I'm going to add Professor Sharp to that. I like that. Very, very good. ETF 42, dude, I'm gonna tell you what, man, ETF 42 definitely has some wisdom. This dude drops rock solid game in here. He says, better to be hyper aggressive than to be passive aggressive. Could not agree more. Eric P says, sad day for Philly. Man, I'm telling you. That's how it is. Then you got people all over, oh, the Eagles aren't done. The Eagles aren't done. Listen, Nick Foles is a decent quarterback. He's not Carson Wentz. Turbattle, good to see you in here. John Paul says, Sharp is on fire. I'm always on fire. Keith Jensen says, gotta treat them like children. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely, man. You better believe it, man. Lorenzo Davis says, Donovan, how can I get my woman into the gym without insulting her? This one's easy. Okay? Tell your woman, hey, we're gonna start going to the gym. Oh my God, are you saying I'm fat? We're going to the gym. Oh my God, are you saying I'm fat? We're going to the gym, sweetheart. Like, you don't have to explain anything to her. You don't have to say, well, I think it would. No. Are you calling me? Listen, you and I are going to the gym. And if she has a problem with it, she can step straight up. Listen, I think what you have to understand, Lorenzo, and you're new to the tower, so I'll certainly go easy on you. And I don't expect you guys to know everything. But when you make suggestions to your woman is going to take it personally. Be ready for that. That's a shit test, man. That's a shit test. If you care about your woman, you want your woman to improve, you want her to get into the gym physically, hey, guess what? We're going to the gym. I've signed you up for a gym membership. Or tell her that you signed her up, right? And then if she's with it, then you go sign her up. You don't want to pay, $40 a month for, if you end up kicking her to the curb. If your woman does not go to the gym, Lorenzo, you need to dump her because she's only going to get fatter. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if your woman is fat or whatever the case may be. Obviously, you want her to go to the gym for a reason. But you have to understand that when I looked in the mirror and I said, Donovan, you are a fat, lazy, fucking simpaholic. That was insulting to me. Guess what? I got over it. And look at me now. Bitch has got to toughen up. Yes, sometimes you have to handle them with kid gloves and handle them like children. But some things you just got to be straight up. Hey, listen, we are going to the gym together. Why? Because I said so. Now, obviously, there have to be many, many elements in place. With you have to, oh my God, you have to train her properly. Lorenzo, go to episodes 53 and 54 for sort of a base knowledge. Send me an email, donovansharprok@gmail.com. I'll send you my 2 ebooks, How to Stop Simping in 24 Hours and Black Man's Revenge, the Black Man's Guide to Dating White Girls and Other Non-Black Women. For basically, this will give you a foundation in game, because what I just told you, that assumes that you have all of the elements in place. You can't be a beta simp, be like, hey, we're going to the gym. Oh my God, why? Are you calling me fat? No. It's over with. Fuck that. You need to make sure the elements are right. And if your girl doesn't go to the gym with you, dude, this relationship was over before it started. That's how it is. Freelance Ronan says they basically are children. They never grow up until it's too late, usually post-wall, and sometimes they still haven't grown up. That's one thing that I've always said. Females mature so much quicker than boys, right? When I was 12 years old, I was still picking my nose and worried about video games. Girls that were my age were already worried about boys. This is how it works. But when females reach the beginning of their sexual prime, 17, 18, sometimes even sooner than that, 16, 17, 18, they stop maturing immediately, okay? They only start back up when they see that attention start to dwindle, all right? And again, now, when the attention starts to dwindle, she's the last to know it. Women are always the last to know when they've hit the wall. So just because you're with a 32-year-old woman doesn't mean you're going to get a woman who acts like she's 32. She's still 22 years old in her mind. She's still going to be a brat. She's still going to act like a girl. Good comment there by Freelance Ronan. That is a Donovan Sharp axiom that you must abide by and live. Well, not abide by, but you must live by the Donovan Sharp axiom. Don Paul says, that food be looking good, bro. Smells good, too. I think it smells good. I think something's going on in there. Sharp Assist says, Donovan does one-on-one consulting if you are ever in a bind and want the raw truth about your situation. Email donovansharprok@gmail.com. Absolutely. I've got one client. I don't think he'll mind me telling his story. Had a main chick. This is unbelievable. And I think that I think things are going to work out. Long story, very, very short. This guy had a main chick. All right. This guy was in a great situation. I think she's like a registered nurse practitioner making great money. Great relationship. They moved in together. She owns this big house. He himself, I think, makes 160 large a year. They both have a lot of money. He's in a great financial situation. Okay. So he had a couple of side chicks. No big deal. One of his side chicks got a hold of his main chick's name and number. And that was the beginning of the end. So the side chick got butthurt and decided to text the main chick everything. So she dumped him, she kicked him out, and so that's when he got a hold of me. He said, look, dude, I need your help. So this was a couple of months back, and we have slowly worked through this, and now he is on the cusp of moving back in with his girlfriend. And if you don't believe me, at the end of this, I'm actually going to get him to do a testimonial to let you guys know, because this is a touch and go situation. And listen, The very first time I gave him advice, he did not. I told him, quit fucking with the side chick. She has your woman's number. She'll record everything. She'll screen grab everything. He said, okay. He didn't do it. He fucked it up. Okay. That's what got his ass kicked out. But now we're back on the mend. We're back on the come. We have, like this has been strategic. This has been hard work, man. And it's cost him some dough. Because I do not, listen, it's cost him some dough. I charge $30 for a 30-minute video chat or $20 for a 30-minute phone call. Listen, we spent some hours on the phone, man. All right. But we have slowly but surely worked him back in. And it looks like within the next couple of weeks, I would say New Year's at the very latest, he will be back in his main chick's good graces. Or his former main chick's good graces. So yeah, if you got woman problems, if you want to figure out how to talk to girls, whatever the case may be, I'll send you my 2 free ebooks. And if you listen, I'm not trying to take your money. I just want to help you out. I'll send you the 2 free ebooks. And if that's enough for you, you want to supplement that with all my articles on Return of Kings, Negro Manosphere, go and listen to all 170 episodes of TSR Live. That should be more than enough for you. If it's not, hit me and I'll help you work it out. Appreciate that sharp assist. Eric P says, that was me, Donovan. You answered my Eagles question at the beginning of the show, so I removed it. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Kevin Samuels in the house. Kevin Samuels, I am definitely going to have him on. I would say probably I need to get with Kevin. I actually had I had a great conversation with Kevin on Saturday night. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that conversation that I had with Kevin is quite literally going to change the direction and the fortunes of this show. So I appreciate that, Kevin. Oh, and Kevin, by the way, I'm dropping, and to everybody else, I am dropping my review on 1821 man-made products tomorrow. I was actually going to do it. I was actually going to do it yesterday, but I think they drop movies and CDs and albums on Tuesday. I don't know what scientific. I don't know. I figured, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go ahead and do it on Tuesday. So that is coming out tomorrow. I'm going to give you guys my full review on 1821manmade.com. You guys see this beard? The beard game is extra tight. You see how smooth it is? That's because of the products from 1821manmade.com. They keep my beard looking right. And if you have a beard, man, listen, this is where you need to go. And I'm going to give you guys a full reason. I'm going to dedicate an entire review to 1821 Man-Made, and hopefully I can make them a sponsor of the show because they have really good products and I think they can help a lot of men. Kevin Samuels also says Super Chat replaced YouTube fan funding and it's supposed to let fan support directly. Fans need to support content creators because this stuff costs. Yes, and it absolutely happens to be. That was part of what we talked about, and that's going to be part of one of the new ways that you guys can support the show. I'll be able to keep more of your donations, so stay tuned. So shout out to Kevin Samuels, man. You have definitely been a gold mine for me. Lorenzo Davis says, I bend the knee to all Eagles fans. Yeah, an ACL, less knee. But the Rams will prevail. King of the West. Yeah, listen, I think the Rams are young, but they're inconsistent, but they're talented, right? I mean, they're 9-4. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a playoff show. See what happens. I mean, now I can do an objective playoff show because the Eagles are not going to or winning the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Okay, listen, there are only so many Jim McMahons and Trent Dilfers and Brad Johnsons in the world. Nick Foles is not that guy. That's not happening. We don't have that good a defense. Kevin Samuels! You let the cat out of the bag. You said someone is using Restream. Yes, absolutely. K-Sam, let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to use Restream to stream to all of those different platforms all at once. So, all right, well, never mind. So much for the announcement. It wouldn't have mattered. You guys figured it out anyway. You guys are a smart bunch. Hang on 1 second. I just saw a question. Mr. Mink, shout out to you, says, Donovan, finish your statement on how else we can contribute besides Super Chat. Okay, well, since you guys pulled my leg, tomorrow, you guys, I am using a program called Streamlabs. And what this will allow you guys to do, I'm going to link it directly to my PayPal account. And this will allow you guys to donate to the show via a link. So you can donate the Super Chat if that's easy for you. But if you want me to see more of the $5, $2, $3 that you guys donate, then definitely donate through Streamlabs. At that point, it hits my account immediately instead of, I think Google pays me, I think they directly deposit it like every 21st of the month or something like that. But I get it immediately and I get to see more of the money. So your contributions will have a much more immediate impact than Super Chat. I love Super Chat. It allowed me to recover after I lost my first channel, and I'll always be grateful to Super Chat. But yeah, Streamlabs will definitely allow you guys to donate to the show. It'll have a much more immediate impact. Eric P says Bills versus Colts. Yep, that's right. Barry CEO says, who takes the biggest percentage from you? Patreon, PayPal, or Super Chat? Definitely Super Chat. Definitely Super Chat. And he said, yeah, no, that's fine. I don't mind answering questions. I'm always a little bit behind, guys. I don't like to read the chat while I'm talking. I feel like I'm doing you guys a disservice when I'm talking. When I'm talking about what I'm talking about, I feel like I owe it to you guys to have continuity. You know, I don't want to lose my train of thought. I don't want you guys to lose it. So if I'm getting to some of these chats here a little bit late, this is just how the show rolls. So good to see you in here, Donnell. Lorenzo Davis says, thank you, Professor Donovan. Appreciate that. Excalibur, haven't seen you in a while. He says, peace to the chat room. Haven't seen him in a while. Donnell rightfully says, keep your side chicks in check. Yes. Listen, episode 20, the 10 side chick commandments. Rule number 1, don't get caught, guys. Listen, there are a lot of guys out here fucking multiple chicks, all right? The guy with game doesn't get caught. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I haven't been sloppy every once in a while. These things happen. But I'm telling you, you get caught, you lose the side chick, and you lose the girl. You do not want to get caught. That's how that goes. Chase LeBeau says, how can I get those ebooks? Put your email address here in the chat, or you can send me an email to donovansharp@gmail.com and put in the subject line ebooks, or you can go to the contact tab on donovansharp.com and put ebooks in the subject line, and I will hit you with those ebooks. Torpedo Man says, did he violate a main tenet of dealing with side bitches? She should have never been in the same city or brought to the same city as the main woman. Actually, he went to see her, and she got mad at him because side chicks get mad at the guys they're fucking because deep down inside they know they are the side bitch, and side bitches never really like being a side bitch, but they can't help it because they got that side bitch mentality. She went into his bag and she found his information, or she found her information in there without revealing too much. So listen, man, you fuck enough bitches, eventually you're going to stick your dick in crazy. That's what happened. It's not like he was all willy-nilly about his girl's information. Like, it's not like he said, here, my girlfriend's name is XY. No. Like, his fucking crazy-ass side chick went and got that and, effectively almost torpedoed the relationship for good. Torpedo Man says, please ask Kevin about hats. I'm going to have Kevin on. I'm going to try to get him on the show. I'm going to try to get him on either later this week or next week. But we're definitely gonna cover some stuff, including hats. That's a good suggestion. Mr. Old School Writer says your beard is tight. Appreciate that. And this is all, listen, guys, this is all 100% natural. It's all my hair. It's not Beijing or whatever the fuck that is, And listen, I like my lines to be like, I like my hairline up top. I like that to be fucking crispy fucking critters. I like that to be razor sharp, crispy as hell. Down low, I don't like it to be so, I don't like the extreme defined look. I like you guys can see that my beard definitely has definition. It's got a shape to it. It's got some character, but by the same token, it's not so razor sharp that if one hair grows out of place, it just fucks up. No. My hair game is tight. I've got a nice full beard, and it's definitely because of the products of 1821manmade.com. It's been a while since I've had my beard this long, and it doesn't look sloppy or frizzy, and it's because of those products. So, Freelance Ronin says, your last show with Kevin Samuels was fire. Bruh. Dude, 5 minutes in, I'm like, holy shit, this guy knows what he's talking about. It's unbelievable. Can't wait to see it. Kevin Samuels says, glad to hear it, my friend. Helping each other is a must. I totally agree. Shout out to Suede Senator. Shout out to Torpedo Man. $2 super chat. Red Pill Awakening is where it is. Guys, when you take the red pill, it's like you get X-ray vision. It's like you get superpowers. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. KJ Stinkmeter says, do you have any advice for dealing with an ex? I've been smashing for a bit. While in monk mode, dropped 100 pounds so far. Should I cancel that bitch like Nino Brown or nah? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with fucking your ex, but you need to understand that fuck buddy is the highest status she gets. All right? She gets one shot. Okay? Listen, I'm not going to not stick my dick in you if you put your pussy on a platter, but understand this. I'm not committing to you again. Like, this is strictly about fucking and nothing else. So, KJ Stinkmeyer says, have you heard anything about using Rogaine to grow a beard? I hear it's very effective. That's a myth. Rogaine does not help you to grow a beard. Freelance Ornament says, side bitches usually stay butthurt literally and figuratively. Being the side piece to them is like being in the friend zone, but they still give up the ass. I said it before on a show. I forget what episode, but the friend zone for men is like the side. Being in the friend zone for a man is like being a side chick for a woman. All right. Women don't care. Women don't care about the sex. They can get dick anytime they want. What they really want is the commitment. Okay. So they can be fucking a guy all they want to. If they don't have his commitment, they're always butthurt. Well, same with guys. Only thing is it's the opposite, right? They get everything else. They get the commitment, they get the long phone calls and everything like that, but they're not getting the ass. It's the same thing. Same frustration. Side bitches are butthurt because they are getting only the sex. And guys in the friend zone are frustrated because they are getting everything but the sex. There's a little bit of asymmetry/symmetry for you. Let's move into the next part of the show. How I beat a caffeine addiction. Around this time, last year, I would say in August of 16, I started getting what I thought were heart palpitations. My girl and I, we took a trip to Hawaii. And when we were in Phoenix, she had her head on my chest and she heard my heart jumping around. Now, how it would happen is my heart would be beating along, and without warning, it would stop for just a split second, and then would beat 2 quick times before starting the regular cadence again. I didn't think it was a big deal, so I left it alone. But as time went on, my heart continued to skip beats at a higher rate. Instead of thump, 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 it would be thump, 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 thump. Okay, now there wasn't any pain or anything to speak of, but it got so frequent at one point, I decided to go to the ER. Now, thankfully, the doctor told me that all of my blood tests came back fine, and that my heart was as strong as an ox, and it was as healthy as it ever was. And at that point, dude, I was riding 25, 30 miles a day. So I knew my heart was, I guess at that point, I guess that would explain why my heart was healthy. So I asked him, I said, well, what about the erratic patterns in my heartbeat? You know, like what about the palpitations and the skip beats? Well, my doctor told me, he says, well, those aren't heart palpitations, Mr. Sharp. What you are experiencing is what are known as premature ventricular contractions, which is PVC for short. And so I said, well, is there any cause for concern? He said, no. Perfectly healthy people with perfectly healthy hearts experience these from time to time. They do freak people out, but most of the time, the blood tests show that there aren't any underlying causes like heart disease, impending heart attack, and so forth. So I asked him, I said, well, what causes PVTs? Well, he says, well, it's one of two things usually. He says it's either from exercising too much or overconsumption of caffeine or both. And that's when it hit me, guys. I had a caffeine addiction. When I thought about my daily routine, guys, when I sat down and thought about it, guys, I was shocked at how much caffeine I was consuming and how often I consume it. Here's what my normal day consisted of. I'd have 2 strong cups of coffee in the morning, okay, and an energy shot before lifting, all right? Then I'd have another energy shot after lifting. I'd have 1 before my bike ride, and then 1 or 2 during the day to keep my energy up. Guys, that is a shitload of caffeine. As soon as the doctor said caffeine or the C word, I immediately knew I had to make a change. Well, 3 substances helped me to reduce my caffeine consumption and ultimately stop my heart from jumping around. Here is what they are. The first one. Oh, wait a minute. Looks like I've got this backwards. All right, well, I'll start from... Well, the first one was kratom. Those of you who watch my show, TSR Live, those of you guys, who watch my, who you guys obviously see the Happy Hippo kratom logo in the bottom right. You guys know that my title sponsor is Happy Hippo Kratom, who specializes in kratom. Kratom is a tropical, it's a tropical evergreen tree. In the coffee family, rather. Native to Southeast Asia, in the Indonesia, and I can't even pronounce that word. I copy and pasted it. Anyway, kratom it's indigenous to Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, etc., where it's been used mainly as traditional medicine since at least the 19th century. Now, here's the big thing. People who suffer from alcohol, opioid, or other drug addictions, they credit kratom as the number one reason they were able to kick the habit. Do a YouTube search, you will see thousands of these videos. My good friend Chris Diotis is fighting the government takeover of kratom, and he points out these videos all the time. That's the guy who owns and runs Happy Hippo Kratom. Heroin addicts swear by this stuff, and again, you guys can do a quick search on Google or YouTube, they'll back up those claims. Now, kratom also has some opioid properties as well as stimulant-like properties, and that's where it helped me to beat my caffeine addiction. So on days that I didn't take modafinil, and I'll get to that in a little bit, I take 2 to 3 grams in the morning on an empty stomach. Then I take another 2 to 3 grams around lunchtime. Once again, I didn't find myself reaching for an energy shot until later that afternoon because I didn't really feel the need to. The second thing that I tried, which was really the first, but I guess I got my slides mixed up, modafinil. This is a life-changing drug, guys. This is usually the number one ingredient in today's smart drugs, right? We've all seen that movie called Limitless. Bradley Cooper, he takes some pill called NZT, and instead of using 5% of his brain, he ends up using 95% of his brain, and he's inventing all this stuff or whatever. Anyway, modafinil is a nootropic that promotes extreme concentration and focus for extended periods of time, guys. Men whose livelihoods depend on consistent productivity swear by this drug. This includes CEOs, executives, television producers, etc. I referenced it earlier. The movie Limitless, though make-believe, is probably the closest on-screen adaptation and description in terms of what the drug is capable of when taken at the right doses. Another effect that modafinil has is that it is a stimulant. That is, it also gives you energy, and a lot of it, guys, and I'm here to tell you, it's easy to take too much of this stuff and end up with a ridiculous headache, so you guys need to be very careful with your dosing procedures. Now, I ordered this stuff to help me wean myself off of caffeine, and it was as advertised the very first time I took it. They typically come in 200 milligram pills, so I broke it in half and took it right when I woke up. Those 100 milligrams, guys, not only helped me power through the first half of my day, I didn't feel the need to drink anything caffeinated because of the energy it gave me. I woke up at 4:30 a.m., took it at 4:35. I didn't crack open an energy drink until around lunchtime. By then, I would have normally had 2 cups of coffee and at least 3 energy shots by that time. The concentration and focus that I also gained from the modafinil also helped in my productivity in ways that caffeine did not. Suffice it to say, guys, that this nootropic definitely lived up to its perceived reputation and was a huge reason I was able to drastically reduce my caffeine intake on a daily basis. The last compound that I took to help myself beat a caffeine addiction is called Phenibut. Happy Hippo Herbals also sells Phenibut, which is, again, a nootropic, and it is used recreationally. It's a central nervous system depressant with sedative and anxiolytic effects, all right? So now you guys are probably asking, well, why would you take something with a sedative when trying to beat caffeine? That's a good question. The way Phenibut works with my body, and I've heard this from other people, is that it increases the potency and effectiveness of caffeine, all right? In other words, when I take it in the morning, I don't have to consume as much caffeine to get the same effect. The result, of course, is less caffeine consumption, which is the ultimate goal. Now, Phenibut is a very complex compound, and it's also used to treat depression, alcoholism, alcohol withdrawal syndrome, post-traumatic stress disorder, stuttering, tics, vestibular disorders, dizziness, the prevention of motion sickness, and for the prevention of anxiety. So like the two above, okay, this is a multifaceted compound. Now, on days I take Phenibut, guys, I'll take 1 gram, then I'll drink a mild cup of coffee, and the effects last well past lunchtime, guys. Then later in the afternoon, I'll take another gram with an energy drink, and I'm good to go for the rest of the day. I don't have to drink any more caffeine. So with this compound, I can get by on just 2 caffeinated drinks, which is a hell of a lot less than I was drinking before. Now, I rotated these compounds daily so that I wouldn't build up too much of a tolerance to any one of the compounds. So day 1, I take 100 milligrams of modafinil. I take 2 to 3 grams of kratom in the morning, then 2 to 3 grams in the afternoon on day 2. Then on day 3, I take 1 gram with a cup of coffee in the morning, then another gram in the afternoon with an energy drink. After a couple of weeks, guys, my PVTs completely stopped, and I'd like to say that I haven't had them since, but every once in a while they'll creep back up, but only when I increase my caffeine consumption. It is very, very important, guys. It is very important to understand the importance of dosing correctly and not using these compounds on consecutive days. Modafinil, kratom, and phenibut are all highly, highly addictive. So you have to exercise vigilant caution when starting a rotation. There are plenty of forums out there that can point you in the right direction in terms of dosing for your particular body weight, your body type, genetic makeup, etc. Now you'll have to tinker here and there to find the best combination for you, but once you get them all dialed in, your caffeine consumption can and will be drastically reduced. Again, this is not medical advice, nor is it intended to be. Always consult a licensed medical professional before embarking on any supplemental regimen, and do your due diligence to make sure you get the most of these substances without overdoing it. Plenty of ways to contribute to the show. You can donate via Super Chat right here on YouTube, like we talked about earlier. You can also drop a little something in the tip jar at the top of my page, just like... Oh, never mind. I got mixed up there. You can also donate via my PayPal link at the top of my page, or you can donate via Super Chat, just like Freelance Ronin, Lewis Key, Everyday Dre, and Drapedo Man. I hope I'm saying that correctly, DM. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Or you can subscribe to Donovan's Den on Patreon. Guys, whether you are looking for a jumpstart in your red pill development or you need a refresher course on living the red pill life, you need to subscribe to Donovan's Den today. It's just $5 a month on Patreon. I've talked about getting over approach anxiety, dealing with shit tests, substances that can and will change your life for the better, 3 of which I have covered here today. As well as how to become attractive to beautiful women before you even learn game. I've talked about understanding undercover slut tells, and that the vast majority of men are completely clueless about. Last week, I gave you guys 3 ways to keep your girl from fucking her coworkers, and earlier today, I started my 3-part series on how adopting certain characteristics of villains, yes, bad guys, will not only get you far more pussy than being a hero would, you'll also live a better life. To get access to this valuable information, do what the other 122 men have already done and subscribe to Donovan's Den today on Patreon. Again, it's just $5 a month. That's less than 17 cents a day, gentlemen. That's not a lot of coin for a lot of great information. You can find the link on my website in the description of this episode, my YouTube channel page, or you can go to patreon.com/Donovan Sharp. And as we round third and head for home, let's do one last check of the chat. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. Lorenzo David says, the crazy bitches be having the best head and pussy, but will do a Steve McNair. Dude, right? Right? What's that woman's name? Aziel Kazili? For those of you who aren't familiar with what Lorenzo's talking about, the late great Steve McNair led the Tennessee Titans to the Super Bowl, where they were beaten by the St. Louis Rams, the upstart Rams. Kurt Warner, MVP, grocery bag, all the rest of that stuff. Well, Steve McNair had a side chick, as do all NFL players, and his side chick ended up capping him. She killed him on the 4th of July. He was asleep on the couch. She pulled a gun, killed him, killed herself. Crazy bitch. Ilyas Jung, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, says, just like smoking, sheer discipline to prepare to sleep for 3 straight days. I assume you're talking about... I don't know what you're talking about. Is he talking about phenibut? Phenibut helps you sleep, that's for sure. I do know that. Study says below 400 milligrams won't make you addicted if you can stay away from it. I don't know what you're talking about. Gotta give me some context there. Dude, what? 212. Good to see you in here. He says, if we don't upgrade our girl, won't that make her more likely to exercise her hypergamy? If we upgrade our girl, Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, that will make her more likely exercised. That will make her more likely to skip out on you. But guess what? You got to make sure your value stays the same or increases. Listen, if you're going to upgrade your girl, you got to upgrade yourself too, right? You want your girl to be fit. You want her to become a better woman, make her be the best woman you can be, best woman she can be. Guess what, guys? That doesn't mean that you can slip on game. As men, we always have to improve. All right. Don't not upgrade your girl because you're afraid she's going to cheat on you. Don't fuck fat chicks because you know that they're less likely to cheat on you. No, man. Put yourself out there and keep your game tight. Very good question. Very good question. Big Wute Samaj says modafinil all the way. Thanks, Donovan. I'll let you know how it works for me. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, listen, modafinil is good stuff. I don't have any now. I need to order some, but it's been a while since I had some. I actually gave a half a pill to my girl, and she was like, "Oh, this stuff is great." Dude, Watt 212 says yes. Oh, I'm sorry. ETF 42 says yes. It is a part of the game. You must continually work to be your best option. There you go. Took the words right out of my mouth. Very nice. Very nice. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. My thanks goes out to Freelance Ronin, $5 super chat. Lewis Key, $5 super chat for Carson Wentz. Everyday Dre, $2. Drapedo Man, $2. I appreciate the support, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys tomorrow.